Hello and welcome to the Adam Friedland Show. Special guest today, Derek Drescher. You want to say hello to the people?
How you doing, guys?
Hello, so what's your body count?
Sex-wise?
That's how we start off every episode. I've been watching a lot of these street TikTok things where kids talk. They ask
we'll do it up front that way. Sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
So I didn't even realize, but I have shows in North Carolina next week. On October 11th and 12th, I will be in Charlotte, and I had to scramble, but we have there will be now benefit shows. So all of the money will go to the name of the organization is the Disaster Relief Fund with the North Carolina Community Foundation, which had a 100% rating on Charity Navigator, which is a website I've never heard of. But
is that for the hurricane?
So it's the Disaster Relief Fund for the North Carolina Community Foundation. We'll put a link in the description if you want to start donating now. And they sent me a QR code that hopefully we can overlay the video. And then if you're in North Carolina and you're not dead, come to the Comedy Zone. And, the ticket sales will go to the charity, and then hopefully we can raise some more money there as well. Please come out. I mean, it seems pretty fucking bad there. So, that's it, guys.
Comedy for a good cause. Guys, also, I will be at the Funny Bone in Syracuse November 8th and 9th next month. So, I hear great things. Go Orangemen. Jim Boeheim.
Who's that?
Isn't that their coach?
I don't watch
Is it
college sports, dude.
Boeheim. Oh, I watch. Well, I try to watch as young as possible. I'm starting at under 10s. No, apparently, what I heard actually, what my agents were telling me because of the NIL deals. Do you know about how you can get sponsorships now in college?
Yeah, they're getting paid.
They get paid?
Yeah.
So, like, the whole system of, like, sports agencies has been, like, thrown into chaos. Because previously, you could be a sports agent, go to, like, LSU, party with guys, like, go to sororities.
So they sign with you when they get out,
So now
right?
now they're in, like, Iowa paying off corrupt 11-year-old uncles, uncles of 11-year-olds, not 11-year-olds who are uncles. Yeah. So now it's the least fun whatever profession in the world. It used to be like
Uncle Bob's gonna take you to Chuck E. Cheese if you sign.
Exactly. You used to like go to Bama and then do shots and stuff.
Damn, they're going after kids that early now, huh?
They have to because now they're getting endorsement deals and stuff. So now they're in play like super young.
So can they have an agent?
So now it's like just a pedophile profession apparently. Yeah, like now it's just like you have to hunt children.
I mean, they've been doing that to the
love your
Dominicans
son's body
for years, right? They sign them when they're like 12, 13 years old, and they put them in those camps. Do you know about this?
Concentration?
No.
Wait,
baseball
like for
camps.
baseball camps.
Yeah, they do it in Venezuela and the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, but all those 9-year-olds in the Dominican Republic are also probably 43 years old.
Yeah, they have children already.
Danny Almonte style.
Yeah.
You remember that kid, Nick?
No.
He was in the Little League World Series, and he was just like...
Oh, right,
yeah.
He was like,
he had like a beard.
He was
I remember that.
He was throwing gas.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he was just dunking on children.
He was like 6'4".
Yeah, he's playing for the Bronx.
It was an adult. I mean, wasn't even that he was just big. I mean, he looked old too.
Yeah. He would just like throw 95.
I think he was
babies.
like 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah, they just lied about his age. Yeah.
That's
That's always been an issue with foreign-born players.
Dude, fucking win by any means necessary.
I remember that during the Winter Olympics in what was it, 2018 maybe? It was the year I, Tonya came out.
Good movie.
And I was in an Airbnb out in the woods.
The year of Movie Pass as well. 2018, yeah.
Big year, I guess.
Big year.
But yeah, I, Tonya came out, but then I was in an Airbnb and they had, there's a TV on. It was weird. I was out in the woods. And so, I turn on the TV, it's figure skating at the Winter Olympics, and the guy I happen to see is the male figure skater from China. And they're talking about him, and they they're like, yeah, he's either 37 or 38 years old. It's like the guy doesn't even have a fucking birthday. He was just enlisted by the state to figure skate. And it was like right before I saw I, Tonya, and like the premise of I, Tonya is like, oh, you know, it's this working class girl and like this sport for rich girls. But then it's like, yeah, but then you compare it to the Olympics and it's like, you're in the top 2%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Tonya Harding's life was better than this Chinese guy that doesn't even have a fucking birthday. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't know
when he was born.
He has no idea.
Or what else to do.
Yeah,
He
nothing.
just skates.
Right.
That's it.
But that is actually
he dies.
That is pretty alpha though. I think like actually a man shouldn't even know what his birthday is. Like having a birthday party as an adult man for yourself.
You do
I do
that.
it, and it feels
it
like feels pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like.
I haven't enjoyed a birthday since I was 25.
Yeah, you don't. Since I have not in my adulthood really ever. You plan birthday stuff for me.
For you, I do.
You'll twist my arm into doing it, and then it's like, you know, we'll go to
like Dave and Buster's.
No,
literally Dave and Buster's. Literally, Dave and Buster's is where.
Let's just let that marinate after that statement. Yeah, it's nice if your friend is with his friends on his birthday.
I didn't say it's not nice. I'm saying it's gay.
His arm.
I'm saying you're gay. I'm saying you're.
I twist his arm.
You can be nice and also.
Does he trick you, or do you know that?
Can you imagine? Like just the manners of that. The manners of that. Oh, hitting up our friends. Oh, we should all hang out with Nick because it's his birthday coming up.
Right.
And then him being like,
yeah, but we're 45 years old.
So what? It's a nice thing to do for a friend.
Are you that old? You're 45?
No, I'm 35.
35?
He's about 47 though.
Me? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You don't know what your birthday is?
Well, yeah. And growing up in
that Chinese guy's probably
Szechuan
never worn
province,
shoes that don't have blades on the bottom.
Oh, 100%.
What's that?
That guy's from birth. They strapped the fucking skates on him, and he's never taken them off.
Yeah, he grew up in that training facility.
Yeah.
Well,
you ever watch that 30 for 30 about the Miracle on Ice Russian team?
Oh, dude, I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest sports moments ever. Up in where the hell were
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. But have you seen the 30 for 30 about the Russian players?
No.
And well, it's like
were they executed?
They were like abused,
basically,
dude.
yeah, they were pissing blood and shit, and it's like, you know, the Soviet Union. It's like it was like a military designation. It's like you have to play.
Yeah, those guys were all generals.
Oh yeah, and
you have
to ice skate carrying boulders completely naked, and then they go to America and fucking lose. And
a bunch of college kids.
And then they're humiliated when they go home.
They were like spit on when they got.
They
off
lose
the
to
plane.
guys that like spike the punch at a frat party. They lose to guys with gray zone sexual assaults.
Have you ever watched the documentary on HBO
about the game,
the Miracle on Ice? What the fuck is that actor's name? I forget his name. There's an actor narrating it, and there's this one part I love when he goes, the captain of the USA Olympic team, Mike Eruzione, steps onto the ice, whose name means eruption in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just that. And then he scores a goal. It's just... I'm sorry.
Against those poor Russians.
Those dudes were like 35 years old. They're like pros, the Russians.
Yeah.
They'd been playing with each other since they were like 15.
Yeah, they were conscripted.
Yeah.
But that's basically what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
miracle.
The miracle on sand.
It's like, wow, they're getting Hamas, and it's like, but these guys
they're plucky upstarts.
Yeah, right. These guys are conscripted into this.
These guys are playing.
Yeah.
Happy Rosh Hashanah, by the way. To
yeah, it's fucking New Year.
Happy Rosh Hashanah. I woke up today. And I'm like, fuck, I got to move my car. And then I'm like, no, I don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No,
you don't have to move your car on Rosh Hashanah?
No, you don't. So
and
I guess Israel isn't that bad,
No,
Nick.
but here's why it is. This is why I was saying. I look, if you destroy Israel, what, you think Jewish people just go away? No, they're all going to move here, and then we're getting all the holidays.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then we're getting
even more holidays.
Every single... I got to move my car once every 2 months, basically.
Is there more Jews in America than in Israel?
There might be... There was a time when there was more in New York.
Than the whole country of Israel. Right.
I think
there are...
14 million altogether?
It's 2% of American population?
The population in Israel is like 9.5 million.
So if there's 400 million Americans, that's what? 8 million here? It's probably the same amount.
I don't think that number. 2% seems like it hasn't been updated in like 100 years.
It's true. Because I feel like the population is
They do that with like
here.
black people also. They say, because there's like a right-wing thing where they're like, it's weird, 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime or something. But it's like the 13%, it's been 13% my entire life. It's like, does it stay the same? I can't imagine that it would, right? It's got to be a different number. What if that was the whole thing and explains it? If like they did the census and they're like, oh, sorry, black people are 60% of the country.
We just didn't know.
And then all those guys are like, oh, I guess I'm not racist then. I was just doing the math wrong the whole time.
I have a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I guess I better check out hip hop.
Some of that shit's great. Like after the Boston Marathon bombing, there's only like 200 Chechen people in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, there's none of them.
And they all do MMA.
That's what I was saying last time. They should have put that Jokar guy in the zoo rather than
in
jail.
an actual zoo.
Yeah, put him in a fucking zoo. If there's 200 Chechens, and there's got to be a cutoff where it's like, all right.
I was just reading about a guy they kept in the Bronx Zoo back in the day too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's the saddest story in the world.
This is a Puerto Rican guy.
No, it was
wearing Birdman lugs.
They put him in with the parrots. No, it was what the hell was his name?
He still managed to have two families.
He was a pygmy.
Yeah, he had a family with a hippo and a family
P.T.
with
Barnum. P.T. Barnum kept like a guy from Georgia in his. It was like the Hall of Oddities.
The
or
what
something.
is
It wasn't
that?
the what is it?
Yeah.
And then there's contemporary like newspaper accounts from like reporters.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, this is clearly a mentally disabled black man. They're like, this is not. Nobody thought it was like a monkey or anything. They just thought it. They were like, oh, you've imprisoned a man.
A man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that guy in the
because in your
ape
mind,
exhibit.
In your mind, you're like, oh, people were so stupid back then. They probably thought that was actually like a different. But no, they knew exactly what it was. They knew what they were doing.
They gave that dude in the Bronx Zoo. They gave him a bow and arrow in case like the gorillas or the apes.
Did he commit?
He blew his he either shot himself in the heart or blew his brain.
With the fucking bow and arrow?
No.
Where'd he get a gun?
He got out. They let him out, but this guy had to like buy him or pay somebody off to get him out, and then
he was in the boogie down Bronx. There, people are doing graffiti, breakdancing, MCing.
It was at the dawn of hip hop.
Was at the
and
dawn
gun
of
violence. Yeah,
gun violence.
Yeah. I think he from like the 30s.
That might be one of the saddest stories.
It's a horrible.
That
story,
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Nick mentioned this 7 years ago on Come Town. So
he did.
No, but the orangutan in the whorehouse in
Mexico.
Was it in Mexico?
I would imagine
it would have been crazy.
No,
if
it was
he
like
shot
in.
himself
I think it was in like
the face with a bow and
Cambodia. There was a
there's a monkey you can have sex with. They put like makeup.
They
on
like
it.
shaved an orangutan.
A female monkey?
Yeah.
No, that was a guy. It was gay also.
And it would be okay. It would just let people do that.
I don't know if it was okay.
Well, Jim Norton used to have that bit about like this story about somebody got arrested for being a pit bull, and Norton's like, let me just make it clear, you can't a pit bull. He's like, if you're having sex with that pit bull, it's because it wants you to have sex with it.
I remember this episode of Cops. They caught this guy fucking a dog, like in Tennessee.
A Haitian migrant. That's the other thing. This is it. Now it's gotten to the level I don't really understand. They're like complaining about them fucking eating dogs or whatever.
You think he
is that of all the? It's like, is that bad? Because they're not like if they're coming here and they're just integrating with the ecosystem and they're eating like bugs and stray dogs, it's like that's good. They're like spiders.
But did he confuse Haitians with Asians?
I don't know.
That's what I was. That's
the Haitians are the angry.
That would be a funny extra thing. Yeah, if it was Vietnamese guys,
it would be crazy if the media was lying and you went to Springfield, Ohio, or wherever it is, and there's like literally a giant web, and there's a Haitian guy he's got 8 legs, and he's got a bunch of dogs wrapped up in webbing, and you're like, oh my god, they never tell the truth. They fucking always lie, dude.
He's best friends with a pig.
Yeah, right. He's telling fables.
Yeah, he's telling fables.
He's Anansi the spider.
He's writing.
Right.
He's writing messages in the web.
Yes, they eat dogs, but he taught me a lot about sharing. And yeah,
it's a beautiful story.
I was trying to think of a Haitian name and then put Webb after it. Because instead of
all of their names, they have
Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef Jean, of course.
They have a lot of names that are like
French, right?
like, well, yeah, or French, but then also like British sea captain names from like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like Matthew Perry.
There was a guy, Matthew Perry, wasn't there?
Yeah, Commodore Matthew Perry.
The original.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
His book's out now. I see it in the airport.
They said he was...
That's a weird... It's all over the airports, the Matthew Perry book. And it's like, who's grabbing that for a flight?
The
like, well, I got to go to Cleveland, so I want to read about this guy, how he's addicted to Vicodin.
Matthew Perry, the actor.
Yeah.
No, the Commodore. Yeah.
So there was a Commodore.
There was a Commodore.
And he was
Matthew
just
Perry.
as sarcastic as Chandler, apparently.
I got
He was
Matthew
one
Perry.
of the most sarcastic Commodores.
Did he actually... He overdosed from Vicodin?
No,
I think he destroyed his body. He
ketamine?
he had a Vicodin problem for like most of his adult life.
Right.
But then he's like, if you take if you take opiates, you can't shit.
You get
And
backed up.
He just ignored that and like ruptured his colon.
Oh,
like,
he was backed up.
Shit into his own
Impacted.
shit into his own body, and then was in a coma for 6 months a couple years back.
Yeah.
When I did drugs, I was like a big... I always thought I had impacted feces. And I would just like...
I got gum
impacted
surgery
feces?
in January, and they didn't give me... I didn't think about it. I was just on Vicodin for 4 days, and then I had to like fucking pull feces out of my ass with my hand. And then it's like, and now I got to get the surgery done again, and I'm like, make sure I get the prune juice this time.
Yeah.
They don't give you like opioids anymore for anything.
No, actually...
if you go to if you pay out of pocket, you get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, those guys still exist where you give them $300 and they'll write you
I think the
whatever
last thing they
prescription
do
you
it
want.
for is sex change operation. You can still get the Vicodin.
I straightened my groin a couple weeks ago.
That's like a Trump would say that. That's an insane
people
claim.
are...
No, I just made that up.
Yeah,
They're getting their sex changed so
They're
they can
cutting
get
the
opiates.
penises off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
These opioid addicts. Yeah,
That's wild. Yeah, no, they just gave me... The doctor didn't even want to give me... Because... like my abs are like the groin and the abs are connected, so like my abs will like spasm. So I was like, I need a muscle relaxer.
You were on junk.
I was on junk. Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
aren't you're like a personal trainer.
I am.
So what? Like you're not doing like yoga
No,
and
dude,
shit?
I haven't worked out in I don't know how long.
Wait, you're telling
That's
other
not a
people
good
how to work out,
endorsement.
but you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
hypocrite.
I mean,
It sounds like you're a hypocrite.
I basically say I'm like, don't look at me how I look. Look at yourself.
Yeah.
And then just if you want to look how
Has
I,
anyone
if
ever
you
been
wanna-
in the gym? Hey, go fuck yourself.
Oh,
pal.
for sure. And I kick them right out.
Where do you
And
personal train?
I work.
Do you have a copy of Supple Leopard?
No, what's that?
Oh, I feel like it's in every
Supple
one of those
Leopard?
kinds of gyms. Yeah, it's like one of the main like Supple Leopard. It's like a PT book, but basically any kind of pain you have, it tells you where it could be like referred from and what rehab exercises.
Yeah, like if your
to
toe
do.
hurts, it's really your hip. That kind of
Yeah,
shit.
it's great. It's an encyclopedia basically of like prehab and rehab exercises.
Where do you train out of?
I work at a gym called ComBody, which is a gym that only hires trainers who have been incarcerated.
And you served a hard time?
Yeah.
Were you in the the Nazis?
No, no. When I was in, I'm
Yeah.
a Puerto Rican Jew. I can't get in the Nazis.
So where do you go?
Well, that's only in the feds. There's really no Nazis left at
I
the
thought
state
the whites
level.
go Nazi, black goes Muslim, and then Latins go.
No, all the white guys want to be black now.
All the white, yes. Of
They're
course.
like, yo, what's up, man?
So they let them in Nation of Islam?
I have seen white guys in the NOI. Yes, I have.
So what crew were you? What was your crew?
I hung out with the Puerto Ricans.
And what was your style?
It was just my style.
Yeah, what was the style? What was the
I will say that.
What was the banter?
I've become more Jewy since I've got older, for sure. My nose keeps growing, my ears, and all that.
You
shit.
know that's true.
Yeah.
The nose and the earlobes never stop. It's the sad. When I found that out, I wanted to cry.
Yeah, it's just they just keep.
It's
going.
horrible.
I mean, yeah, I hung with Puerto Ricans. I hung with everybody. It's not really like that in like the minimum security spots in New York. It's not like, you know, the West Coast is all whites with whites, blacks with blacks. If black people are eating here, a white person can't sit there.
What's minimum security? Like,
well, they don't even exist anymore. They cut them out. Now everything's medium and maximum.
What?
Yeah.
So what are like the levels? What are like
minimum?
Yeah. What does minimum do? Like,
well, they should just do it by weight class. It's fucking insane that's not the
true.
Prison system.
I should go to women's.
No, really, it should be. If you're under 140 or 32 pounds,
you should be minimum.
You're in a bantam prison.
Bantam weight.
You know what I mean? And then in between,
then I'm with
just
all
do it
these
by weight
Mexican
class.
guys beating my ass.
Yeah,
that's fine. But at least you're not gonna
then I'm
like.
Just like
you're gonna feel
Mexican.
You're
guys.
gonna feel like you had a shot. You know what I mean? Like if you feel like, because what people live off of is hope, and if some fucking like 6
so
foot
then you
six,
still got a weight cut. While
if some
you're in
6'6" dude is like, all right, we're gonna fight. You're like, oh, we're gonna fight.
I'm gonna lose.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll see you.
I could get mad enough to
convince
myself I could beat up like 145
dude,
pound Mexican.
that is.
I'd lose, but I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this piece of shit.
Because Matt, you're like still having to cut weight so you don't go up a weight.
Yeah.
In prison.
Yeah.
So how
I gotta stay at middleweight because if I can't hang with the light heavyweight. Yeah, dude, that's
okay. So
that's great.
I've always said this, right? And it's kind of
That's
a bit, but
awesome.
it's actually not even a bit. It's how I feel.
Right.
If I'm getting constantly,
That
okay,
doesn't happen.
okay, I'm just saying. Let's say I
Well,
am.
I mean, but what
okay.
if it's him?
Come on.
I mean,
Look at me.
You're like, me and my cool Puerto Rican friends personally didn't see anyone getting.
No. Why?
people making love. That's what.
Let's
we
say,
call it.
okay, let's look at. Okay, I'm the belle of the ball. Okay.
Right.
And it's happening to me every night, and I'm like, this is unpleasant. I'm not. I don't enjoy this.
Right.
Why wouldn't I just go to the authority?
How do you get to be? Here's my question. Because this is a better. Everyone talks about stuff, and nobody gives a shit.
Why wouldn't I tattletale?
Here's a better prison question. How do you get to be one of the guys that has like GameCube in his cell? You know what I mean?
You have to be rich.
Yeah. No, and everybody has iPads now. And
everyone's got phones
play
too.
games.
But what if you went like GameCube or Sega Genesis?
You got to be like Avon Barksdale.
Okay.
Yeah, and a wall of sneakers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Because it seems like it's just that guy that murdered a bunch of children in Norway, and he's like the only one that gets PlayStation.
No, Jared from Subway definitely has PS5.
Okay.
Dude, those prisons in Norway are sick.
They're awesome.
They have like fucking granite countertops.
Yeah.
And, like,
granite countertops.
Like
it looks like a Holiday Inn.
It's insane.
They don't have linoleum floors.
Dude,
they got real tile.
Yeah. You ever see that interview and the guy's like, they're like walking through his cell, which is a condo, and he goes, "They treat us like animals here." And I was like, "What?"
In Norway, he said that. How dare he?
And they go on weekend passes because they want them to like keep working things out with their family.
Well, okay, of course, you have to stick with the Puerto Ricans. There's no Jewish crew that you could stick with, right?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
I mean, not many Jews go to prison, but
there's a federal that's like the Jewish prison, and that's where Michael Cohen went, and they have kosher food.
Yes, so Green Correctional, that's where the kosher kitchen was, and there was like 100 Jews working in that kosher kitchen.
You were in federal or state?
State. And they would send...
Did they do the thing where they sanitize the kitchen with a flamethrower? You ever see that?
The rabbi?
Yeah.
That's like
this isn't kosher.
No, it's like a Hasidic thing.
It's true.
Or Orthodox thing. But they'll go, there was a big issue in New Jersey because this nursing home burned down, like 9 people died because the rabbi went into the kitchen with a flamethrower. And they had already told them you can't do that anymore. And I mean, there's videos of it. It's the craziest thing.
Of him with a flamethrower?
It's a fucking rabbi. They use a flamethrower and fucking just start flamethrowing the kitchen.
My friend went to Orthodox yeshiva because he got all F's in high school, and we all went to college. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be just an ultra Orthodox rabbi." I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
And then he called me one week. He's like, "Adam, how are you?" And I was like, "Why are you talking this way?" He changed his accent and everything. And then I get a call like 3 months later. He's like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" And I was like, "What happened?" And he's like, "Dude, I was getting too high. I missed morning prayers like every day, and I was so blazed that I put something in the microwave that was supposed to be 3 minutes, and I put it in for 300 minutes
and blew it up.
I set the rabbi school on fire."
Remember that story from like?
So he got kicked out.
Remember that story from like 8 months ago where Modest Yahoo was like, "Yeah, my show was canceled because of anti-Semitism."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh, where was the show?" And it was at like the Clown Family Fun Center, and like. Phoenix.
Jesus.
It's like some like strip mall venue. It's like,
really
oh,
falling on hard times.
I know.
Wait. Let's go back to the original question. Well, not the,
Right.
but like with the tattletaling. Like, what if someone
So
just
yes,
tattles?
if you were getting like that constantly,
and I don't like it.
you should definitely tell somebody.
It's not nice.
And then they would put you in protective custody in PC,
Okay, so I'm being.
aka Punk City.
So that's where all the homos go.
Pedos.
But then I have to hang out with pedophiles.
Yep. Yeah, pick your poison.
I can't get my
Chumps.
And then so I'm in the pedophile place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these guys are also bullying me. Somehow I'm also getting bullied there.
No, in protective custody, you wouldn't interact with anybody. You almost being like the shoe. Like you'd go to yard by yourself. You'd shower by yourself.
So they give
But
me.
you'd live a horrible, horrible life. Way
it's worse there. Then
Yeah, because dude, I don't know. So would you rather, give your chance to yourself a chance to fight back from
fight. Look at this. What
Wait,
the
so
hell am I gonna
why
do?
is protective custody worse? Because it's like you didn't get a chance to fight back for the or the actual. Like it just sucks over there. Like that's it.
It's
by
boring?
design. That's a trade-off. They're like,
something
okay.
about me saying this like makes my spine tingle. I just couldn't imagine myself getting every day.
Like
Uh-huh.
ASMR?
So
Sorry.
if some
I don't understand why everybody isn't
I'm
like,
sorry.
oh yeah, put me in protective custody right away. Unless
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
is because you like shower twice a week and you get like
you only get to shower twice a week.
and you
I
get like
shower twice a week anyway, honestly.
or it could be this. So they'll give you 30 minutes a day outside of your cell, and that's to use the phone, work out, and clean yourself.
Oh, so that you're locked in your room.
So when you use the phone, there's a fucking phone with a big spool
so they
of wire. They roll it to you.
they punish you for being
in protective custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Because you're a headache on the
Wait,
on
okay,
the corrections
but they
officers.
give you the yard on your own?
Yeah.
You
but
get
dude,
a ball?
the yard
You
might
get
be
a ball?
connected to the back of you. No, you get no ball.
They don't give you a ball?
No.
Because if I get the yard to myself, I'm
Wait,
hold
on. The yard might be connected to what?
So there might be a door at the back of your cell that just pops open into a cage outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
MMA? What cage?
Smaller.
What goes on in the cage?
Nothing. This is you walking around and
Oh, they just
A
give
10
you a
by
small
10.
cage.
yeah.
Okay, let's say if they were like, you get the yard to yourself because you're a loser bitch, right? And you can't be with all these cool guys.
Can a regular guy like
I
me,
would get
let's say
my-
I go to prison for some kind of financial crime.
Right.
Can I have a Kindle and can I have GameCube?
Were you for financial crimes? Yes. Where you're
Federal
Kindle-
apparently
Kindle
is
and
lobster
GameCube?
cakewalk.
Then
Kindle, GameCube,
then
you'd be cooking steaks.
I'm not afraid of any. I don't even want to cook steaks.
Yeah.
I'll eat whatever they have in the commissaries. Fine.
Yeah,
Doritos.
he's not a big foodie.
I mean, that's literally what I eat every night,
Yeah.
anyways. I don't.
You'd
Prison.
be allowed.
And then I kind of walk back the whole only every 3 days. I honestly cannot remember the last time I took a shower.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
don't like
brushing.
taking
Can I get
showers.
an electric toothbrush? That's big for me because I got gum disease.
You could probably get the
He
doctor
just
to
started
sign off
brushing
on
his
that.
teeth at 34.
I got some pretty deep dental pockets.
I'm just saying, if they give me the yard to myself,
Right.
and a basketball,
You're not getting a basketball.
I'm getting my three up to like maybe 45%.
You know
then
what?
maybe I'm league. Maybe I'm coming out of there.
You gonna play for the Globetrotters?
No, in the National Basketball Association. A white guy that can shoot? Every team needs that. That's what I'm saying.
You might get a ball. It
give you a
depends
ball?
on facility.
Do they have Wi-Fi in there?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, if so,
We live in like this is not. These are. It's what you think because it's like. That's the world we live in.
right.
Sure.
So even being isolated, like in terms of a cell, it's like now you have to think about digital isolation, which is a whole other aspect that's been introduced into people's
Right,
like, psyches. So if you throw somebody in jail and they can't like be like, what's Kamala HQ tweeting right now?
Right.
You
So-
know, if they don't have access to Jen Psaki's latest updates on
That
on these
then-
crazy things that JD Vance
That's
has
what
been
I like to
saying.
call hard time.
I might even have to kill one of the guards
Yeah.
and take their gun and shoot up the entire prison unless I know, what does Abby Phillip have to say about
yeah.
And so I need access to those things.
I want to know, exactly what the vice presidential debate
It would
was
be
like.
very funny to be in prison for raping and murdering, like, let's say 30 children. And then you're sitting there and you're like, can you believe this Donald Trump guy?
He's an animal.
Can you believe this guy? He cannot be president. I mean, democracy is on the line this year. You just fucking.
Okay.
You just you ran a school bus off the road and went in through the emergency exit in the back and just bam, 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 just hitting seat after seat, and then you come out completely nude with your hands up, just waiting for the police to take you.
So
sorry,
iPads are a thing now.
But I hate the iPad. It makes sense that that's what's in prison.
Yeah.
The next thing you're going to have is Apple Vision Pro. What we need is iPhones and maybe a MacBook. The iPad is for an infant. It's for like an infant.
It's for a kid. Shut up at the table.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can order your food through there. You can email with family. I'm sure guys have figured out how to crack them and do all kinds of wild
stuff.
But I would need a Kindle.
Wait. You're saying they fired all the waiters and now you order on the iPad?
Yeah. You get your
Jesus Christ.
That's how you order it.
They used to have waiters in prison.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is when you're on a plane and you see like a Ursula-style woman, like a 50-year-old, that's just like a big
octopus woman.
Yeah, spending like fucking $300-400 a week on hair and makeup, with bangles, and like where they have claws. One of those types of ladies. Just a big bitch. Yeah. Like a big middle-aged.
Rich though.
Yeah, maybe she has a rich husband, but he owns like car dealerships and he's red and his penis is red.
Yeah.
And, they're like awful people.
He's a parrot head.
And one of those
he
women,
loves
and they
Buffett.
they have the biggest iPad, and then they play like Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's my parents, bro.
I'm like, this is a monster.
My mother has this huge iPad, and she's
you know what? A guy our age sent me a text.
Sudoku is the funniest thing in the world.
Sudoku.
It takes 3 minutes to understand what the game is, and then it's like basically like playing tic-tac-toe with yourself.
It's not. It's harder than tic-tac-toe.
No, it's not.
I don't play Sudoku.
You got to be really fucking dumb to be challenged by Sudoku.
Sometimes on a plane, you.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Halftime, you said?
No, ad time.
Oh.
Today's episode is brought to you by Mud Water, which they have plenty of in North Carolina, where I will be in a week and a half at Charlotte. 100% of the ticket sales are going to the North Carolina Community Foundation. I don't know. The name sounds like fake, but very highly rated charity. Please come out.
Nick, have you used Mud Water? Have you experienced it?
Oh, yeah.
And you could provide a personal endorsement, perhaps.
Yeah. I like to drink my coffee in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of bothered me because it had the wrong consistency, Felt like it was going through me too quickly. And I switched over to, I tried all the different types of alternative, and this one, let me tell you, this one was the best one.
Did they send us the product? Do we have it?
It's in here somewhere, yeah.
They want us to show it.
Pete brought it in.
One moment. Sorry, guys.
You should get an intercom for Pete.
Yeah.
Like with the Charlie's Angels one.
With a little red light?
Yeah.
What was that dude's name that used to talk to them through the intercom?
Charlie.
It was Charlie. Who was the guy that helped them, though?
Was that a joke question?
Basil? What was his name?
Bosley.
Yeah, Bill Murray. It was Charlie.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was Bill Murray.
I liked that one that came out in like 2000 with Lucy Liu and the
Drew Barrymore.
Wow, how funny is it you don't remember the white ladies' names? Yeah,
Cameron Diaz.
It wasn't Uma Thurman. No, she was in The Avengers. Okay. You remember that movie?
Yeah, that movie sucked.
Oh, yeah. It was like they're
British,
in Europe or some shit.
Yeah, they're British.
Okay, guys, we're going to show you this product. This is what Mud Water is. And Mud Water is /WTR, which I think is a kind of cool modern branding. How about this? You want to read what that is?
Yeah.
It's very durable if you drop it.
Mud Water Rise Cacao. Masala Chai, which is black tea, ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and black pepper. Ooh, that's a lot. lion's mane. You want me to read all these?
No, it's fine.
Right.
I don't know why I did that. Okay, so guys, this is something else that comes with it. It's called the whip. Okay?
Walks and hits per inning.
And it's easy to clean. It goes at 4,000 RPM.
We got one of those from another sponsor. A lot of these companies are sending these things here. I would say you can just use a spoon, probably.
No, I think I would use the whip. Do your hands need a break from all that spoon wielding?
No.
Spoon wielding?
Yeah,
That's like
mine
for
do.
donkeys.
Mine don't. Yeah.
Mine do. Meet the mud whip.
I would say this, guys. Get the mud water, maybe pass on the whip. Or give it, take
Don't
the
say
whip.
don't
It comes
buy
in
the whip.
The whip comes in its own package. So, and it comes free with this, I'm assuming. You can just put wrapping paper on it and give it to your aunt. And then she has no idea what the mud water even is. She's like, oh my God, I have spoon arthritis.
Your aunt's going to use those 4,000 RPMs a lot, if you know what I'm talking about.
And then it gets stuck in her hair and rips her scalp off.
Your aunt's going to get a chatter.
Oh my God,
account.
the natives were here.
You know that I told you that story, right?
About scalping?
About my grandmother?
No.
She got her hair.
She got your grandma was scalped by fucking
my grandmother
Comanches?
was when she was in memory care. She said something very racist to
about
me.
Comanches scalping her?
No, it's about another old lady in memory care.
Was it a black lady?
I don't remember if it was a black lady, but she just turned to me and she goes, "The natives are here."
What a crazy way to kill somebody.
What, scalping?
Yeah,
Scalping is
scalping.
wild.
Guys, here's the deal. If you don't have... wait, sorry.
You think you could die right from scalping? Just from the
Yeah, you bleed out probably.
shock and shit?
Especially in like 1850 in the middle of like the woods.
The woods, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
The front
we're
pier.
obsessed with mud water. When 3 p.m. rolls around and you notice you're yawning in a very important meeting, but you don't want to drink an afternoon cup, what do? You grab mud water. It's the best. Okay, mud water is a coffee alternative filled with chai, cacao, lion's mane, chaga, reishi, cordyceps, turmeric, and cinnamon to get your energy fix without your heart doing jazz hands every morning. My heart... I have a homosexual heart, folks. Guys, do you have a gay heart? Mud water is like...
I kind of hate jazz hands as a reference across the board.
Jazz hands?
Yeah.
Yeah. When do you ever encounter them?
I don't know. It was funny the first time.
I never hang out with
25
Bob
years ago,
Fosse.
somebody said jazz hands, and now...
Mud water is like coffee's chilled yoga-loving cousin who went on a spiritual retreat and came back more zen without any of the jitters. Imagine being alert, calm, and at the same time while not having any trouble
I tell you,
falling
who
asleep
could
at
really
night.
use the mud water is the copywriter who put this together.
Yeah, this guy
while
doesn't sound very
his brain
chill.
was shutting down. I got.
Not only does
What is
mud
this?
water give you that morning boost you need, but it's also packed with adaptogens and antioxidants and all those other fancy health words that make you feel superior to your coffee drinking friends. Superior.
It does. Look, at the bottom. I don't
If you want to be
understand why they do
racist to people that drink coffee, drink this.
It
They want
works.
you guys to read a
I don't
lot.
know. I don't know if you're like me. I drink coffee all day long. It doesn't. Coffee just stops working after
after
3
a while.
p.m.
It
Yeah.
is. It's
So
like
you gotta
Coke or
switch up.
something.
You can either do
It's like
something
the
like
first
this,
bump is
which
nice,
is
and
pretty
then the
nice,
rest of the day sucks.
or you can switch to Red Bull, which fucks you up even worse.
Yeah.
So use this if you drink coffee all the time. You hit it at 3 p.m. You're good.
And you
And
fall
that's the
asleep
life of a
easily.
person that's not allowed to do opiates anymore. Correctly?
Yeah, no, but for real, guys, yeah, it doesn't give you jitters like coffee. It doesn't make your stomach feel like crap like coffee. This is something that actually works and doesn't like drive you nuts. So our listeners, guys, if you give mud water a shot, you can save big because our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order.
One-time only deal. Comes
Free
with
shipping
the first season of Arliss on DVD.
and
free
a
with
free
every box.
rechargeable frother. Head to Mudwater, that's MUDWTR.com, and use the code.
Arliss. ARLI $ dollars.
The code's TAFS.
The code is TAFS.
Okay, so go to Mudwater, MUDWTR.com, and
show?
use the code TAFS at checkout, guys. This is a great deal. You get a free frother. You can use it. I would keep it. Nick would give it to his aunt.
The frother. Not the mud water. I'd keep that for myself.
The mud water is for me. The frother is for my aunt.
I tell you, I got a frother with. I got one of those Keurig. First, I'll never buy another Keurig again.
Yeah, they stink.
I got one that came. They keep trying to be nicer than they are. It should just say shitty coffee. Here's a quick way to make shitty coffee.
Yeah, coffee definitely
with
not
your
as good.
Keurig.
Well, also the tubes get.
And
nasty.
I got one that was called the K Cafe, and it had a frother, and it just spins the milk for you.
That's it.
Yeah, so you can get it's spinny, but it's like this is not even close. Or where they have like an
Probably
espresso
heats it up,
setting,
too.
it's like I'm gonna kill somebody.
The K Cafe.
The K Cafe.
I just do instant coffee, Bustelo.
Yeah,
That's it.
You know what's actually good is the Bustelo espresso grounds in an AeroPress.
Yes.
It makes surprisingly good coffee.
Yeah, strong. It's good, strong coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I asking too many questions about?
Absolutely.
Do you
not.
talk to like kids groups about this kind of stuff?
I have before.
Do you scare them straight?
No, they were like worse than I was.
You don't like
They're like
pull out your pocket and say,
motherfucker.
"Hold this," and now you're my girlfriend.
No, bro. They'd send me. I would talk to kids from like fucking East New York, and
I'd be terrified.
were
You're
just
like,
those
don't
guys
go
are
to prison.
scared.
They're like, we don't have grocery stores.
it's a food
I live in a
desert
food
where I live,
desert.
sir.
Why would we not go to prison?
That's so crazy. You know, that's why
Everything you're saying about prison sounds better than
way
East
better.
New York.
Yeah. You telling me I can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
So you brag to these kids basically.
Basically.
But the kids are mean to you.
And the dude, it's not even that they're mean. It's hard to get through. Like
They're
I
taller,
sat
though.
on a panel. It was me, like the first Puerto Rican guy to ever
Also, it
become
doesn't
psych-
work when anybody does. People have to live their own lives and make
For
their own
sure.
decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those programs have ever stopped it. Has Dare ever done anything other than
No.
like tell kids like, okay, when you smoke weed in 5 years, this is how to buy it. You know,
Well, they
it's
also,
like-
I remember Dare told us like how to do it.
yeah, right.
They're like, yeah, you could like twist up you could take the blunt cuts out.
You'll
get
go
a-
to the store,
get
you
a-
buy this pipe.
Get a
some
Corona
copper.
Dutch Master.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get a cool shirt and some stickers.
The
That's all
shirt
right.
is cool.
Maybe
The branding
sometimes,
on Dare is awesome.
a Nutri-Grain bar.
I sat on a panel with Eric Adams while he was running for mayor, a gun violence
Oh,
panel.
let's talk about that.
So,
First of all, best
and you know who else was there?
best mayor of our lifetime. Let's just go on the record.
Nick Cannon was also on the panel.
Amazing.
This was the weirdest thing
That's
I've ever
awesome.
been involved in. So my brother got shot like 5 years ago, and the woman who was running the panel was like, "Derek, I want you to come tell your story to these kids about your brother getting shot." And I was, I walk in and Eric Adams is there and Nick Cannon. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Why would you talk about your brother getting shot on Wild and Out?
So
You were you on MTV's
I battle
Wild and Out?
rapped fucking Eric Adams. That's what I went for.
Is
We're all
he-
just trying to one up each other with
What
our
did-
gun
Yeah,
violence.
yeah.
what did he do, by the way?
Who?
Eric Adams.
He was a
got
cop
he-
for 30 years.
No,
No,
I mean
no,
like
Turkey-
the crime. He got like free business
He got
class
free
upgrades.
crap from Turkey.
It was like it wasn't even actual money. It's things that you don't
We
even
have
know
to
what the
stand
value
by
of
our
is.
mayor.
Well, especially with airlines, because it's like you pay these prices that are. It's like what is this paying for? Jet fuel? I have no fucking idea. It seems there's 4 companies, so it seems like likely we're all getting fucked, right?
Yeah.
Like that's my understanding of how it is when a handful of companies control things. They can charge whatever they want, and then when you look at the business class prices, it all seems arbitrary anyways. If I got offered a free upgrade by the government of Turkey, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Because fundamentally it's worthless.
Yeah, what's the point of
Either I
becoming
get
the
it
mayor?
or some fat idiot gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
didn't
with
fucking-
bangles on.
Didn't we have one governor that was he bought prostitutes?
Yeah,
And, like-
Spitzer, also another great governor.
Yeah, and the state troopers like brought
He was
them to
oh yeah.
him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if you get like
No, he was never the governor. He was the attorney general. He was running for governor.
he was
right?
running for
Yeah.
governor.
Elliot
yeah.
Spitzer.
Spitzer, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elliot Hawk Tua.
And they took him down because he went after Wall Street.
Yeah.
And then also that what was the Troopergate thing.
I
Wasn't
feel
that
like
part
they're
of it?
taking Adams down because
Trooper
he
Gate
went
was
after the
in
Democrats.
Jersey, I thought.
Kind of, right? With the
That's-
migrant stuff.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he did the black guy like getting in trouble.
There has to be
thing.
more to it than the business class upgrades because that's what I saw and that seems fucking absurd.
Well, I was listening to his lawyer the other day, and he's like, I feel the way he was explaining is once we get through all this red tape, you're going to see that it really wasn't that much money, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's what his lawyer
Because Bob
said,
Menendez, first of all politicians are for sale. We know that.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it works. That's not an insightful statement. It's just what the case says.
Yeah.
Bob Menendez got in trouble because he was accepting things like gold bricks. It was retarded. I mean, it was like just done. Like he was meeting with like an Egyptian like Wario at fucking McDonald's. He was handing him like suitcases with gold in it.
Bullion in it.
Yeah, I mean there were dollar signs on a burlap sack.
In South Africa, our last president was buying like wild animals with taxpayer money.
Who? Trump?
Jacob Zuma was like
like in
South Africa he was like buying hippos
in
and
Goodfellas
stuff.
when the guy shows up with the fur jacket. Goodfellas, and he's like, you take the jacket off. Hey,
that's a dope part.
Hey, whoa, that's all. When somebody gets in trouble, it's like for that,
right?
But the Eric Adams saying, if it is again just business class equity, because that's all I saw.
Politics like takedown.
Yeah, but it's just.
But I love that.
But why take him down for like the thing that's, it's like, is he squeaky clean? Otherwise, that's the thing you can get him on.
He was a cop for 30 years.
Right. And he never,
borough president.
And he never did anything wrong.
He had to.
No, I don't think he ever did anything wrong. He's the best man. He brought swagger back to our city.
Sitting with him for 2 hours, he was batshit crazy.
I'm sure he is.
So is Nick Cannon. Out of his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm. When Adams did the press conference after he got in trouble, he did. I love that he did like the classic black guy getting in trouble thing, where he does a press conference and it's all guys in kufis and daishikis standing next to him.
I didn't see that.
It was pretty awesome. There was a guy that looked like Dick Gregory that had a kufi on standing next to him, and he was like.
He's like, I have the support of my constituents.
It's like when Michael Jackson had his second trial, and then he just had Nation of Islam guys. Yeah.
You see that guy Mark Lawler's in trouble for...
Who's that?
He's a congressman from New York. I think he represents like fucking like Putnam County or something. But there's pictures of him as Michael Jackson on Halloween in 2006, which they all get in trouble for Michael Jackson in particular.
I mean, dude, he can argue... Which
was
it
it
like long-haired Michael Jackson, or was it like
did blackface Michael Jackson?
But Michael Jackson wasn't even
like Thriller Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like dark. Damn. He used like bronzer.
He did
Jackson. Hard one
Jackson 5 Michael Jackson.
Can't get by that on that one.
Yeah, and then he had to go on the news and be like, it was a tribute to an artist that I was touched by and inspired by, and who I loved, whose music brought so much joy to
He is the best. He's the best.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
He is.
Wait, so you were on this panel. Let's
the
go back
answer
to
should
it.
just be you're like, it was 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when
I
it
didn't know
legal.
I would get in trouble for this 20 years later.
Show me any public statement from if you're on the news. Show me if you're interviewing me and you're a journalist. Show me a public statement from you saying we need gay marriage in 2006. If you don't have that, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Show me a public statement from you in 2006 saying you can't be Michael Jackson for Halloween.
Exactly.
That just was not.
Dude, we need to become political consultants and so whatever the fuck this is.
Right.
We like really Eric Adams. This guy. These defenses are so simple. I loved when Cuomo got in trouble and his defense for like
I'm Italian
was that we like to hug and kiss like because we're Italian.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm an oily wop. I love to smell and hug.
Grease ball. I like to sexually harass.
Of course, I'm a fucking gross dago.
Yeah.
It's my culture.
Do you think he's in his basement right now doing like fake COVID updates like Rupert Pupkin to nobody? Yeah.
He's got a fake background, like a fake skyline of New York.
The numbers are coming down. And we're doing the best that we can. And we thank everybody.
He's just rubbing his
but
nipples.
There's a lot more work to do. Yeah, he's in a gimp costume.
Yeah, he's got his protruding nipples. They're just cut out of his shirt.
Yeah.
His large
Ma,
nipples.
just put my spaghetti in the oven. I'll come up later. I'm doing my COVID broadcast.
Shut up, you fucking bitch.
Dude, I just knew when all that was happening that I was like, he's become like a rock star now, and it's just a matter of time before they fuck him in the ass. Like,
Cuomo?
Yeah, I knew.
And then they got the brother too.
Yeah.
Politics is very funny, and that there's these people that like they become beloved for like a hot second. They have no idea what's down.
It's all
because it's unless you can like translate that to power and then more power immediately. It's like then the rest of these vultures are going to figure out a way to destroy you.
Well, the truth is
remember how much people liked Beto O'Rourke?
Who's that?
He's from like Texas. He's a Texas guy that ran for president,
like a Democrat from Texas.
Yeah.
Oh no, I never heard of him.
And he like skateboarded, and it was right after. I remember there was like some kind of focus group or something, but it was like, what's that like a DNC consultant, Tom? I'm struggling to remember his name now. The Hispanic guy, Tom. Doesn't matter. But there was like information that there was a focus group that says that people respond well to swear words because it conveys authenticity. Oh. And then it was like that week, it was like a bunch of like prominent Democrat media consultants like trying out cursing. You know what I mean? And they were like, this election, it's important as fuck. You know, like it was very clear. That was a fun
shit is gonna be lit.
But yeah, Beto said fuck or something. That was his big moment. He like was riding on a skateboard. He kick flipped into a place, and he's like, "These fucking school shootings have to stop."
And his name was like Robert too.
Yeah.
He went by Beto to seem more like Latino Texas, but yeah, his name was Robert or O'Rourke.
Was he like half Spanish or something?
No, I don't think he was at all.
Yeah, he was Irish. He was like
De Blasio, he was
his real name's like fucking Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
It's like
he's German.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
Hermann Goering.
Some shit like that. Yeah. That's wild.
It's
so
like
you were on
Walter.
this dais at the Friars Club roast with Nick Cannon. You got the mayor now.
Mayor's
when he was Brooklyn Borough president though.
At the time he's Brooklyn Borough president running for mayor. Yeah.
And then a bunch of little criminal kids.
A bunch of kids who had generational gun violence trauma. That's what they...
It's crazy they expected him to fly economy. I'm in business class. I'm in business class.
After dealing with that?
Imagine the borough president having to pass me on the way to economy.
It's embarrassing.
And I'm in business class.
Yeah.
Trying to plug in my GameCube.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was right around the time Nick Cannon got in trouble for all the
anti-Semitism.
Yeah. So it was.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, he did.
And he came in turban and all.
He went. Yeah, he did anti-Semitism, and then who was the Jew? They got like someone hilarious to like teach him that Jews are okay. I don't know if it was like Ben Shapiro. It was like someone.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Somebody.
But no. But it was like one of
the. It was a rabbi.
That Rabbi Shmuley. Yeah. They got Rabbi Shmuley.
And then what's he like? He's like the Zionist like Casey Neistat basically. He just goes.
Rabbi Shmuley is like the
GoPro videos.
Is he like a Reformed Jew?
No. He's Orthodox Jew.
He's Orthodox.
But he like does TV and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like the Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like. You know, like he's like not actually doing rabbi stuff. He's just like more on TV talking about rabbi stuff.
One thing I could tell you about that panel was Nick Cannon hated my guts.
I wish we maintained a friendship with him.
Dude, I'll show you guys a picture after
Neil
this.
deGrasse Tyson. His life is awesome.
No. He's no friend of ours.
Why?
Why? You guys had him on, didn't you?
Yeah, he was a nice guy. Adam doesn't like him now for some reason.
Why don't you like him?
Because he made that race essentialist argument that was weird.
What are you talking about?
He made that weird like
this joke is taking way too long.
It's not a joke.
Get to the point.
I'm not doing a joke.
Oh, okay.
He was doing that weird thing that was supposed to be pro-trans, and then by the end of it, it seemed like he was just like, and I succeeded despite my blackness. Like it got like it. Logically, it didn't flow at all.
So you don't like the guy anymore?
I don't respect him.
He just sits around making like fucking vinegar and baking soda volcanoes, and he gets to live in the museum for free.
I respect that. But whenever he talks about stuff that isn't science, and you listen to what he's actually saying, it's the dumbest shit you've ever heard.
That was the coolest part about meeting him. I was like, so how did you? I'm like, I was aware of you since I was a child, right? And it's like, but I don't know, actually, I didn't Google you at all but prior to you coming here to do our show, you know? So it's like, what, like, how did you get into being like a talking head? And he was just a student in Columbia, and he like had a good voice, and so they brought him on like one TV thing, and he was charismatic and good at it, and so then his career went from there. It wasn't like he was like some, genius astrophysicist or whatever. Like, you know,
he was smart, but he never like.
Well, sure, but I mean, it wasn't
he's
like
not a
it wasn't like it
he
was a
doesn't,
guy.
like, publish papers.
It wasn't like he
Yeah.
was a guy in the field that was doing this groundbreaking
Yeah.
research, and then he became. He's just a good what they call a science communicator.
He talks that shit.
Which is like.
Which
going to be a science communicator is like one of the what's it called? It's like risk versus reward, because either there's two slots ever.
Yeah, there's
right?
like Carl Sagan.
One of them goes to the greatest scientist. The other one goes to the guy that's the most charismatic, and then everyone else ends up like farming for Reddit karma.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
Dr.
Oppenheimer, he was charismatic,
the rest of them are
right?
the rest
Well,
of
he
them are
wasn't,
like
like,
on the Star
TV.
Trek subreddit being like, here's a fun thing about how the hyperdrive would actually work.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, your body is cheese,
Well, no.
and you're just fucking.
There is nothing. What he does.
If you don't make it to that echelon, you're trash. You
Right.
know what
Well,
I
no,
mean?
but it's only
like
one
much
guy.
worse. It's much worse than like
I
even, you know,
disagree.
like guys that failed being professional athletes.
Like if you're just working in some lab
If
and
you-
nobody knows who you are.
Well, no, because you don't end up there. If you aspire to be a science communicator, you probably end up working at Radio Shack. If you don't get to live in the Natural History Museum and come to the Adam Friedland show, where you offend Adam with your
He didn't offend
race
me.
essentialist arguments.
He didn't offend me.
about trans people.
But I realized okay. What I realized was this, right?
Mhm.
Was that what he does in his job makes people feel great, right? When they see him on TV and listen to the things he says, like in a very or when someone shares a meme,
Well,
and
it makes you
has
feel. It makes you feel like a kid. It has nothing to do with science.
No,
So
it
you
makes-
get to engage with the world earnestly.
it makes
again, which is what people want.
There is nothing. There's absolutely nothing but a positive impact he has on the world. But when he popped off about anything that wasn't science, he hasn't realized that he only knows science. And then when he talks about like social shit or like anything else,
So you're accusing him of podcasting.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, but no. But what I'm saying is this:
You're accusing him of doing.
he is no smarter
Our
than
job.
us. He is no smarter than us. Yeah. What I'm saying is this: nothing that he's bringing to the table, we haven't brought to the table already.
You guys are fucking too smart for me, man. I can't keep.
Thank
You
you.
don't know, you're
We're
like,
just as
who's
smart
Neil
as
deGrasse
we're just as smart as Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What the
of
hell
course.
is the Natural History Museum?
Yeah.
You mean prison?
No, honestly,
That's what they should call it. That's what they should call prison.
honestly, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Because of your time, Nick, where are you going?
I hope he had to pee.
I'll say this to you, and I mean this as a compliment. Because of your time on the inside, what that gave you was street smarts.
Yeah.
Street smarts that I will never have.
Right.
And when I see you, I see Professor Emeritus of the smarts of the block
Of the streets. Yeah.
Wait, how long did you have to go for?
I was in and out for years. So altogether, it was like
It was just drunk tank, or was it like
no. I've been arrested like over 30 times.
30 times?
Yeah, it's
Wow,
like-
a rambling man.
Yeah. But it was mostly thefts and drugs and
What's the longest
assaults.
time you served?
About 2 years.
That's so long.
And I went in and out. I do a year, come back out, do a year.
But 2 years, just whenever someone's like, oh, they got off light, they got 2 years, I'm like, I imagine just being there for 2 years as like, that's just so long.
Yeah. It's,
Like, what was I doing fucking 2 years ago?
you.
There's so many things that have happened in my life in the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now some broad might become president.
Dude, so
in the last 2 years.
bro, I was
Yeah.
I was like on drugs bad while
Yeah.
Obama was president.
So it was just
And then I got clean and Trump was president.
and then you got dirty again?
No, I stayed clean, but I was just like, this is crazy. Like if it's just weird that, you know, I was high the whole time we had our first black
Actually,
president.
where did Nick go? Oh, you were high though?
Yeah, I was
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're too
Yeah. I was ripped the whole time.
So you missed it.
I missed Obama.
You missed it.
Yeah. And
You know what I missed? I missed the Floyd protests.
where were you?
My mom died the day after Floyd. And I remember the day before she died.
Just the biggest smile on your face.
Yeah.
He says that.
If you had to miss something.
I didn't miss it on purpose. Okay. My mom. So the day before she died,
Right.
like I went on Instagram and then like LeBron, like everyone's sharing this video of this guy's getting his head kneeled on.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, that's weird. I thought this is the app where you look at pictures of your girlfriend's friends.
Right.
Public profiles. On their public profiles, okay? Public profile. Then they're these are great girls, okay?
Yeah.
No, but for real though.
So you did
the video came out,
Shiva.
and then my mom died.
You sat
and
Shiva.
I sat Shiva, and I didn't look at my phone. I was like, I'm going to be with my family. Sat Shiva, was it 10 days?
Yeah.
And then I'm on a plane back to New York. I open up Twitter.
And you're like, what the fuck?
First thing I see is Nancy Pelosi doing this in the kente
African
cloth.
dress.
And I was like, what?
Yes,
I was
that's
like, what
exactly
did
how
I
I
miss?
felt. That's how I felt.
So you did that because you were on opioids during Obama.
Right. Yeah.
I lost the love of my life. You had the love of your life.
Opiates.
No, but it was like, that was like
it's
jarring.
It's
I was
very,
like, what
it's
the
very
fuck
similar.
is going on right now?
Yeah.
And then everyone was like doing the black square. I missed the black square.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, these are the resources for George Floyd. And then they were like, it turns out the resources were wrong. We got them wrong. An Indian guy now has $500,000.
And then COVID happened.
Well, COVID was before that. That was like 3 months into COVID. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. No, Floyd was actually kind of the first way that you could leave your house and still be a good person.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were out there. Did you protest?
Well, it was 10 days into Floyd. I was like, I kind of missed. I went to like.
I would have.
My mom died.
Trust me, I
My
would've.
mom died. They were playing Pop Smoke. It looked fun.
I don't know who Pop Smoke is. That was all for Zoomers. I didn't feel welcome.
Pop Smoke was great.
To be frank, I did not feel welcome.
He was supposed to be the next 50, and then he died because
it was all of these children acting like adults.
On his Instagram story, there was like a corner of a piece of mail
and
in his house, and then they saw it,
and they went and killed him.
They meant to go rob him at gunpoint, and then accidentally killed him. And he was the next 50. He sounded exactly like 50.
I feel like they killed him on purpose.
Who did? The Jews?
Isn't
the Puerto Rican Jews?
Chinese. Because it happened during COVID.
Pop?
Right? Didn't he die?
No, it was a year before, I think.
Oh,
I think it was before.
Guys, this is how much I pay attention. My timelines are fucking skewed.
I did know a guy whose New Year's resolution was to stop saying the N-word, white guy, who was like really into when I got back to New York
it's like
to the
December
protest.
3rd, and you're like, that's going to be my New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
But until then.
So I got 27
days.
What kind of white guy was he?
He's not in a hateful way, in a like song lyric kind of, and also kind of like, what's up, my...
Where's he from?
New York.
He's from the city?
Yeah.
So he grew up saying it.
But like he knew it was bad.
Would he say it in front of black people?
I don't
think so.
I don't think so.
Jewish kid?
Maybe. I mean, it's New York, probably a little. But it was like, I shouldn't say this. It's not right. And then when I got back, he was like so into the protest, and I was like, it was very funny because I was like,
you know who does it? Because I moved here and I thought like, oh, every racial group does it. Because you'll see Chinese
the Korean
kids
do it a lot. Yeah.
Well, I lived with a Chinese family, and the Chinese boy would say it, and he was like a computer nerd.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even like like a cool. He'd be sitting there playing like a kitten version of Warcraft. And he'd be on there, and then he would like sing. He would sing pop songs and be like, "Oh, great job, boop," and then drop it, and it was insane.
Yeah.
I used to say it, but only in my neighborhood.
The Arabs don't.
They don't say it.
They do.
They do.
Well, I don't hear it.
100%
Indians
they
say
do.
it.
Indians,
the Yemenis say it, and the Arabs definitely do say it.
Well, maybe not the ones I know, but it's very weird that they don't because people are calling them that.
Yeah.
You'll see the other guy be like, what do you mean you don't have any more bagels? Boop, And he's like, I'm sorry, they just did not. We don't have them.
I think it's
in the videos.
I think it's a generational thing.
No, I mean in the store.
I think their kids definitely say it because, the deli on my block is run by Yemenis, and they can't get enough of it.
I like how a lot of them too have the Yemen car. Have you seen that?
What's that?
It's got the whole flag of Yemen all over the car.
Oh, they're being like Puerto Ricans now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like the new.
Have you been to the parade?
The Puerto Rican Day Parade?
Yeah.
No, I never went because when I was young, there was all those rapes at that one.
Yeah, it was
like
that was
100
it was
or
scary.
something,
Yeah.
So I've always stayed away.
Really, that was the Jewish side of you that kept you away.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved.
Really.
Not a mass rape. You know.
I didn't know that happened there. I thought the Caribbean one was the one that had
There was
problems.
some rapes at that one too.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there was only 6 though.
Mm.
But this one
Well,
that happened.
shootings more than anything at the Caribbean Day
Yeah.
Parade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was I forget what year it was, but there was a ton of sexual misconduct. So I haven't. I wouldn't really want it. It's in the Bronx, I think.
I thought it's in Uptown.
It might be Harlem.
Harlem, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode of The Sopranos when the final season where he's dating Blanca?
Pete, where are we at? Did we do the?
Yeah, she was Dominican, right?
I think she was Puerto Rican,
Might
but
have been
AJ has like the flags and stuff, and
Yes,
then he
I
gets
remember
dumped.
she was
He
Puerto
gets
Rican.
dumped. And he has all the Puerto Rico stuff on him. Yeah.
Yeah, she jumped in.
All right, guys, we're here to talk about MyBookie. You guys know about MyBookie. They've been friends of the show for some time, and winning season is back, and it's your time to shine with MyBookie. Their weekly risk-free boosts, classic, super, and survivor contests. Cashing in has never been easier. Whether you are a seasoned pro or a first-time bettor, there's something for everyone to win big this season. Just click MyBookie and use my code Adam100. Adam100 to sign up for free, and then you'll be ready to start winning and earning. Are you a big sports fan?
Yeah, I like sports. I don't gamble though.
You don't gamble. Well, you should start actually with my code Adam100. It's that time of the year. Winning season is back. Football is back. MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. But that's just the beginning. MyBookie is giving away It's funny you didn't want to go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade because of the rapes, but you went to
Which one?
jail.
Yeah, that is true. But
That was actually rude of me to say.
no, it's not.
I kind of just popped
There's
into my head.
There's a gay. Like everyone be like, "Yo, you can't do that shit in jail." But there is. Like I've seen guys get married in the yard. Like they threw rice and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's romantic.
And they would, like,
you
hold
know who would
hands.
have a problem with that?
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
Up until 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's true. Now
Oh, she hated gays. Now she's.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
they
know
were
that.
all yeah. They
When
all
you're
were
ready to
opposed
get
gay
started,
marriage.
use
Would've
promo
voted
code
for it.
Adam100 and claim some extra cheese on top with your first deposit. MyBookie's tiered bonuses make it easy to deposit with crypto or with credit. The bigger your deposit, the bigger your bonus. And now loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. It's simple. Climb through the tiers of the loyalty rewards program to unlock even more epic promotions, exclusive giveaways, and bigger rewards. MyBookie Plus is the lock of the century. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and make your season winning season. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's fine.
It's wrong.
It's just a part of my experience.
So you're
It's
getting
not-
back into your Judaism?
No.
What was it, the October 7th that did it?
I stopped. I stopped being into Judaism like when the pandemic happened.
Have you seen people online being like, "Man, October 7th is coming up. I hope
I
there's
thought it was
not.
October 6th.
I hope there's not a terrorist attack."
Oh,
or something."
January 6th. That's
January
what it was.
6th.
That's what it was.
But it's like, they're presenting it as like, what might, because it's October 7th.
Did
And
people
what
do that on
happened-
9/11,
What happened last year?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I don't really think that's how time or
Were
life
people
works.
thinking that on the 1 year anniversary of 9/11?
And trust me, I'm saying that confidently in the hopes that another October 7th does happen because I know I'm made to look stupid by world events whenever I try to prognosticate or anything along those lines. So I'm going to confidently say nothing's going to happen, right?
It sounds
Just
like you
so
know
there's-
something.
There's egg on my face.
It sounds like you know something.
We're ready for it
Yeah.
this time around.
What's
Oh,
gonna
I didn't even
happen?
tell you the craziest thing that fucking happened. Speaking of me
What?
knowing about something.
What?
I don't even really know if I want to say it. I never talk to anybody on the plane, when I fly, but I was on the flight from Boston to D.C. And it was like the first time ever. This guy sits down, nice guy, shakes my hand, and, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like shy. So, I start talking to him, he asks me about what I do, and, I say I'm a comic, and start talking about comedy. He actually knows a comic who I knew in D.C., knows his wife. And very friendly guy. We have a friendly conversation the whole time. And I'm like, wow, that was nice. Even after we leave the plane, he's like headed off and we shake hands and stuff. And I don't want to like give too much of his personal information because he was a very nice guy, but he told me his like full name, right? So just by chance, because he told me a little about what he did. He said he was in the military at one point.
You looked him up.
I looked him up. Senior interrogator at Guantanamo Bay.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know. How crazy is that, right? And then it
so dude, like
it really
he
like
made you
what's that?
He made you bring your walls down because that's his specialty.
I don't think so. I think he was just a friendly guy. It's not like there's any information you can get out of me other than like, here's what I think about how Trivial Pursuit has changed over the last 20 years. I mean, that was like the substance of the conversation.
But you think he goes into like in Guantanamo Bay? He's like, hey man.
I'm also not the guy you would need to like. I just say everything, and that's my problem. Is I just be saying stuff,
right?
So like
that's why
I'm not like.
That's why in public you don't talk much,
right?
The
FBI could just call me and be like, hey, do you support this? This has happened, literally, where the FBI is like, come to me and said,
for real?
Do you support ISIS? Yeah.
The FBI called you?
They came to my fucking apartment, and then they like questioned me. And I was like, no, dude, I don't know. Like, no, I don't know what you're
They knocked on your door and they were like, hey,
they came twice to my apartment and then they came again, yeah.
When did this happen?
Like 10 years ago.
Dude.
So, yeah, no, you wouldn't
Were you
have
scared at all? Or?
I was more just interested. I mean, it was like, it's so absurd,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it because of like stuff you were putting in like vlogs and shit?
No. I mean, literally. I mean, I think people who listen to the show know the story already. But basically, I went to go see my grandma before she died, and then my uncle was dropping me off this was in Philly. My uncle was dropping me off at the bus to go back to New York. And we're in the car, and it was when like ISIS was new.
Right. And
so he's asking about it, and he's like, like where do these guys come from or whatever. And then I kind of explained like, well, Iraq became this sort of vacuum, and you have these different groups, and it's like literally stuff I've just read in the New York Times. I mean, it's not any kind of in-depth.
And your uncle reported you?
Well, he's like, how do you know all this stuff? And I'm like, it's in I like read the news. I mean, not even like in depth. It's the front page. You know what I mean?
He thought you were like a sleeper
and
cell.
And then there was just one thing because he was like,
I saw Nick say fuck America.
He was like,
on
so out of
Facebook.
nowhere you just find like fucking like a million psychopaths that'll just fucking they want to destroy freedom or whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't think they're not psychopaths because it's like it's not mentally ill people.
So he thought
right?
you were a sympathizer.
It's not even. I didn't even say anything sympathetic. I just said it's like, no, it's like it's the problem with like any group of young men is like they're angry and violent and they're looking for a way to sublimate that aggression.
Yeah.
And if you're like an upper middle class person, you can do it by
playing pickleball.
Yeah, getting into a drunk driving accident and killing your girlfriend, then your senator uncle covers it up for you. You know what I mean? But if you're an Arab guy in fucking Britain, and it's like you're really into drill music or whatever, and you can go cut somebody's head off, it's like,
and you
why
got a
not?
Toyota Hilux.
Yeah,
too.
why the fuck not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why not go do that? And then there's some marginal justification for it. And it's like, unfortunately, that's just like, because even now, as a grown man with extremely low testosterone levels, I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. You know what I mean? You can't deny that.
You said that to your uncle, and then all of a sudden it was like...
No, I didn't say it to that extent. I just said you can't call... It's not crazy people, and that's like a dumb way to look at it. It's like, it's just... Yeah, it's the same reason people join gangs. It's like you wouldn't think gang members are crazy.
Yep.
It's just you need just a little bit to get people to be like, look, my circumstances are shitty, and here's a way I can fucking do something that'll like...
Anger and insecurity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yep.
And then he's like, what? She's saying they're like the same as like the troops or something? I'm like, well, I'm not making a moral equivalency. He's like, nah. And then I was at the bus stops. He's like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Get out of my car. I didn't think twice about it because he's like, he's kind of a goofy guy, so he says stuff. And then, like a week later, the fucking FBI is coming and asking me questions. And then he like lied. He played dumb when next time I saw him.
And they came twice?
They came twice, yeah. But
How
then
many-
the
how long in
FBI
between?
agents, they had like very distinct. I mean, clearly this guy was from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And
You got the Philly FBI coming.
yeah, right. And so I was like, okay.
He was like, are you that bold Nick Mullen? Was he talking to you like that?
Yeah.
He asked me about my Twitter account. He's like, so just to verify you're an extremely online guy. I was like, yeah.
Nick had to explain what.
And they're like, that's
pig
you in the
shit balls
picture with
was.
like the Looney Tunes hat on. You know,
Yeah.
it's like. It's like I think my profile picture at the time I'd like gone into the dressing room at Kmart and put on the dumbest clothes they had there, and I like took like a picture of myself. But it's like I mean these people just had to drive 2 hours to talk to like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then I'm like initially
for the government.
I had no idea, and then at the same time I own the domain name childporn.sexy. And it was like a website.
It is his finest work.
It was a website I set up where it's like this middle-aged man named Doug who just has a model train website, and that was the only domain he could afford. And he's like, please stop like calling the police on him. Please leave him alone. It's just about model trains. If you're at the website for any other reason, we don't have anything like that. So please just this is about trains? Model trains.
He said it was my neighbors, and my neighbor
had to go to Thailand. Go to Thailand on business, and he gave me this website so that I can use it for and I don't know how to set up a website, so please stop. Anyways, if you're here for trains, you're in the right place. And so I thought maybe it had something to do with that or whatever. So I'm like, what could these guys possibly want? But then they told me, they were like Joint Terrorism Task Force guys. And I'm like, is somebody going to kill me or something? And they were like, no, they're really vague. They're like, yeah, like, like we're conducting an investigation and like it's like one of your Facebook friends, like is
involved in something.
It might be involved in something or they might be in danger. And so we just want to know if you saw anything that may have like piqued your interest. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I saw a picture of a pig with poop on its nuts the other day. That was pretty funny.
You know that picture?
Yeah.
No.
Pig shit balls?
It's a pig. No. It's got giant nuts, and it took a dump on its nuts. And then I ended up emailing the picture to the FBI
so
agent
big
afterwards. He was like, if you think of anything, here's my information. And I was like, this is the picture I was talking about.
I thought of.
It's truly one of the funniest things of all time.
He didn't respond to it, but And it's
that's hilarious. That's on file somewhere.
Wait, did you ever confront your
Crazy.
uncle? Were you ever like, what the fuck?
No, because I saw him at the funeral, and I was like explaining to him.
It's a perfect time to bring that up.
Well, because he came up to me. He's like, you still saying weird stuff on? It's got the FBI calling people. He's let off with that. I'm like, no, they talked to you? He was like, yeah. And then he tells me the agent's name, and now they didn't talk to anybody else in my family. I'm like, why the fuck is the FBI calling you about this? And then my dad was there, and I'm like, did you hear this? John said the FBI called him, and then my dad gets mad at my uncle, and he's like, why did you tell him that? Now he's not going to shut up about it. I got like annoyed that like John told me because he's like, he's just going to, now all we're going to hear about is this FBI shit for the rest of the, and so I was trying to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out, and then I have like I guess they're my cousin's kids that are like maybe a year younger than me. They also live in the city, so we were all taking the bus back up. And, we talked for a while, and then before we got on the bus, they were like, yeah, so what's this stuff where you're like a jihadist sympathizer? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about John talking about this FBI thing? And they're like, what FBI thing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I guess it's like, they were like, I don't know. John said that you were saying like ISIS was good and that you support them. And then they told my grandparents, and like they were like, they asked us, they're like, do you think he was kidding or something? And I'm like, no, yeah, so it was like a
They asked your grandma?
Not my grandma, it's my uncle, but it's their grandparents.
Oh, their grandparents.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but yeah, it was definitely him.
He ratted.
I know,
you
but
don't do that to family. You don't snitch, bro.
Yeah, but I was never particularly mad because it's like he thought he was doing the right thing.
Right.
If there's no spite in it, it's like this guy's deluded himself into thinking it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, but some things are more important. He probably
and
thought
you also
this was
got to send pig shit balls to the government.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm just trying to imagine
dope.
him calling like, I think I have some information.
Yeah, the FBI, nice guys
said, "Fuck America."
Yeah. Nice guys too. They send two guys, and so the one guy asks the questions, the other guy just kind of stares at you and like looks at how you respond.
Good cop, bad cop type shit.
Not even good cop, bad cop. One of them just observes. I don't know if he's like a trainer or something or what.
He's like at a restaurant.
Well,
he's like, I'm just training.
Yeah. Basically, no,
I'm shadowing
today.
But same thing with this guy on the plane. It was a really nice guy, and then it was really jarring afterwards because.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I told him.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
And I mean, the emotional arc of that day, starting off the day being very sad that Hassan Nasrallah was killed. Mm-hmm. Which they got the wrong Hassan, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that one of the pager?
Well,
attacks?
no. He thought that Hassan Piquer was killed.
We're just kidding. We love Hassan.
Yeah.
Hassan Piker
he's one of our. He's our hero. He's one of our best
hero,
friends,
basically. But they should have killed him instead of, I've been. Anyways, yeah, they killed the head of Hezbollah. You know?
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't seem good because it's like it's things are just getting worse.
Maybe there could be a big regional conflict.
Yeah, a big regional conflict. It creates this thing where I mean, he was this very like charismatic kind of figurehead, and you know, you just remove that from the equation. It's never good. It's like there's no, you know.
Now there's going to be like a real stone cold
yeah, and they're still doing this.
Super charismatic.
They're still doing this bullshit where they're like, and now
like
the
Patrice.
Lebanese people are free to just have democracy, and it's like I don't think that's probably how it's going to go at all. But anyways, so starting the day that way, and then ending the day like or halfway through it, transitioning to like genuinely feeling kind of like sorry for a Guantanamo Bay interrogator. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why'd you feel sorry for him?
Well, he's again. I don't want to, you know. I mean, I had a private conversation.
Oh
with
yeah,
somebody.
right,
I don't want
to.
Nothing really in particularly bad, but he just seemed upset about the state of affairs in the way that you know, literally any kind of MSNBC liberal would.
Right.
You know, worrying about like, oh, but authoritarianism and there's xenophobes in the country,
fascism.
Yeah, all of those things, and why that was upsetting. Because you know, it's like, you know, I believed him. He seemed like genuinely upset, and that sucks. That sucks to know that, like, you know, you can laugh at these people, but that people are so worried about the things
and affected by what's
happening.
Or
the flip side, you know, all the MAGA people that are like, you know, genuinely like, you know, they're trying to kill him, and then they're going to get me afterwards. It's like it sucks. It sucks that people are living with that level of anxiety.
Everyone's really stressed.
And then
out.
you know, we both deal with it. I don't know if your parents are still around, but like our dads are in the generation that, you know, you watch maybe your grandparents have Fox News did it to them,
right,
where they're terrified about illegal immigrants, and now we have our parents are terrified because they watch MSNBC and this like
my dad thinks Vladimir Putin's trying to kill him.
Yeah, right, exactly. and it's just like that's,
my mother thinks that Trump and Putin will like team together and like create some kind of empire.
It's just
all
shitty.
Of our parents,
like people in the
that's
sunset.
That's the Jewish side, right?
Yeah,
the sunset years of their lives shouldn't have to worry about this fucking dumb stuff. You know what I mean? And maybe it's a survival mechanism. Maybe they need it to feel like they have to stick around to fight for something.
Well, it's the show they're watching, you know?
Yeah, well, regardless. Anyways, it's like, oh, that sucks. But then it was really jarring afterwards because there's a movie called Missing. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
It sounds familiar.
And yeah, it's a movie called Missing, and it's about it's like based on it's somewhat of a true story, but it's like during the Pinochet coup in Chile. What?
Sorry, and it's just
the funny name.
Yeah.
There was several Americans that were in Chile, and some of them ended up getting murdered by these like the Revolutionary Army guys or whatever.
What country was that?
Chile.
Chile.
Yeah.
Chile.
Right.
And the Americans were murdered, and then one of them, this guy, his girlfriend was his wife was living there with him, and he disappeared the night of the coup, and then they couldn't find him, and then she was asking for help from the State Department, and the State Department was just basically bullshitting her and being like, oh, we're trying our best, we're looking into it, but they're not doing anything. And she gets frustrated. Eventually, her husband's father, who is like a New York businessman, a conservative New York businessman who knows a senator, you know, like comes down to Chile, and like the movie is the drama between her and him because she's like this hippie or whatever, and he's a conservative, and he's like, why don't you just trust?
Is Russell Crowe?
No, it's a much older. It came out in like I think 1980. It's Jack Lemmon and Sissy Spacek.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. But he's just asking nicely.
Initially, because
it's
he's
like
like
Taken, but instead of karate, he's just like, please, can I have my son?
Yeah. So Jack Lemmon is like, you got to have faith in the State Department, but increasingly he realizes that Sissy Spacek's right. They are just bullshitting him, and he can't find his son, and he has to resign to the fact that his son was in fact murdered, and the State Department probably knew about
covering it up.
Just didn't care. Yeah. And I think he did sue them or something, but you know, that's the movie. But early in the movie, the son is still alive, and he's going around with his like photojournalist partner, I guess. And they go to some resort somewhere in Chile. Maybe it's where the coup was planned from. And there's all of these like Navy guys. There's like American military officials, and then they're having breakfast at the hotel. And they talk to this kind of like, like, I don't know which actor plays him, but he's like one of those like Texas, he's like, you know, Powers Booth style, you know, kind of like this kind of creepy Texas guy that explains, yeah, you know, retired naval intelligence, and came down here for a job. I think it went off without a hitch, And it's the guy just exudes kind of like evil,
right?
So they're like shooting, like side-eyeing each other, and kind of like writing it down, nudging each other. And the way this character is portrayed, it's like this is the dark cog in the machine. This is what we all visualize when it's like fucking, people read about Alan Dulles and the CIA and all of these bad things, and that they're very smart and evil people, but that's like a very like simple way of looking at it. And the reality is most of these people are like,
cosplaying at Comic-Con.
Well, no, not cosplaying at Comic-Con necessarily, but they're boring people with like boring lives and the same interpersonal relationship concerns that anybody else has, which that in and of itself is like a juvenile, like obvious analysis of the situation. Sure. But it just seeing that up front and having the contrast with that scene and this one in my head, it's like it's like bad things happen in the world just like almost out of like, it's not because of any departure from what regular or normal human nature is. It's just like this is bound to happen anyways. So a guy that should just be at Star Trek conventions is like hooking somebody up to a car battery, and they're like,
waterboarding.
Yeah, it's like I hope
this is my job.
They're like, I hope I remember to call my sister for her birthday. And it's like
as soon as I get done with work, I gotta go get stuff. The
banality of
yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug? Any projects you're working on?
No.
Podcasts?
You can listen to my podcast if you want. It's called On the Gate. It's with me and Gio Perez, two jailbird junkies turned jokesters.
What happened to the third guy? He like skipped town?
He went back to jail.
Oh, no, he allegedly shot somebody.
I mean, it's on video. I mean, he definitely shot that guy. I can't, I mean, come on.
Yeah. That happened.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he definitely shot
that
guy.
Wherever he is, I hope he's doing well. He was so funny. He was the funniest out of the three of us. And
I
he was a nice guy. I talked to him like 3 or 4 times, but somebody told me he's like they just didn't catch him.
They have not caught him yet.
Carlos, that's got to be cool, jackal. Right?
Yeah, Leo the Jackal.
Yeah.
That's cool. Leo the Hyena.
Anywhere we could see you on the road?
Is that cool or is it not cool?
What do you mean?
Like if you were on the run for something like that, would you find that to be exciting or like?
You need money to do that.
Oh.
You like even Pablo Escobar, he was like, living in these beautiful places, and he ran out of money, and then after he ran out of money, he died.
I want to get like I'm like because my mom's dad left because of the Holocaust. He left.
He wouldn't be mad about that. He's not going to shoot us now, is he?
No, I don't think he'd do that.
You're dead. You're a dead man.
Oh, okay.
My mom's dad left.
Because I don't. What's the problem with that? I don't.
He's gonna call me when I walk out.
He's not going to be like, I can't believe you said I shot that guy.
Come on, bro.
It's like, well, you shot him.
You're supposed to stick up for me there.
Yeah.
No.
My mom. I didn't say the guy didn't deserve it. I don't know what happened.
Nick, what do?
I'm just saying.
You're good, buddy.
Okay, all right. Don't shoot me.
Are you saying
What's
that?
his name again?
You're vouching?
I'm vouching for Nick. And you.
This is a vouch?
I can vouch for myself.
I've talked
with the
you
man.
need him to
We've had
vouch.
a good time.
You can't vouch for yourself.
Yeah.
If someone has a hit out on you,
that guy was funny.
You need to get the pass.
That guy would call. That was like one of those guys where he would like aggressively call me the N-word in conversation.
And he was very touchy too.
And, well,
did you ever grab his shoulders?
Yeah. Well, he would say the N-word so much, and then he would say it to me, and then I would have to be like, right. Like I don't know.
He'd have very intelligent conversations, and then he would just close.
Well, it's a New York thing. Is you just say the N-word.
It's a New York thing.
You know?
And now I've been here for 10 years, so I got the Timbs, the fitted, and
I saw a picture of you the other day. Actually, you had your fitted on like that.
Yeah, well, it's a New York. It's a New York thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mayor Adams, the captain, number 2. Number 2.
Eric Adams.
How's Gio doing?
Gio's great.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
that guy
Gio,
I like. Yeah.
I love Gio. Yeah. You can listen to us talk about prison and heroin for an hour a week if you want.
I saw a video of a guy talking about prison, and he referred to hiding contraband in his ass, and he said, I just had to gangster that shit. But he referred to placing things in his bum as gangstering.
Yeah, I guess
I thought that was a funny term.
Yeah, better than boofing.
I just had to gangster that shit.
I had to gangster through it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I G'd up.
What I was saying about apropos of going on the run, like
I feel like
I'm trying to get
men should have a non-gay hole somewhere on their body. We should evolve that.
None of my holes are gay.
You know what? If you had like a pussy like on your forearm or something, just to like protect you psychologically. Then if you're in prison and someone's like fucking your arm pussy, you're like, hey, get the hell out of here.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
You wake up with somebody just...
Yeah, you're like, can you believe this? I was in line for the phone. Some guy starts fucking my arm.
You're like talking to your parents.
Yeah, the ass is
Mom, my arm is getting fucked right now.
Ass, you know what I mean? The ass is already too, like...
Mom, my arm's getting fucked. I have to go.
You know what I mean?
I get it. Israel's being mistreated in the media. I understand. Can I go? My arm is being fucked by a Puerto Rican.
I wonder, can I talk about this real quick, or do we got to
talk about
go?
Yeah.
So I was going to Israel, it was like 6 years ago.
To see Leo.
Is that where he
I
is?
was going to meet up with him, yes, on the Israel-Jordan border.
Well, they do a lot. There are a lot of pedophiles that they have.
He's out there just calling Jewish people the N-word. Calling Israeli guys. He's like, yo, this music is ass. Boop. Yeah. Nah, it's really cool. Just one note over and over. They're
listening to LMFAO.
Shit music.
They have the worst taste. I have cousins there that are like, have you heard Imagine Dragons?
Oh, yeah, they're behind.
Those are the guys doing the genocide.
It's not even behind. It's like, that's the argument that it is. Like,
it's not behind, it's bad taste.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
bad taste. Yeah. Well, the truth is, it's the same music that Palestinians listen to. If they both realize that they both like LMFAO, maybe they could make peace.
They could come together.
They both like I'm Sexy and I Know It.
So I thought I was going to have this big Jewish awakening when I went to Israel.
What the fuck?
I don't know what I was thinking, but have you ever been before?
Yeah.
Have you ever been? So
yes.
So like
yes. Plenty of times.
I feel like Nick would go and then like give a class to like Palestinian kids. Like you would go.
No, he wouldn't.
No, I would just not go.
Comedy? He'd teach about the rule of
It'd be
three.
funny to give a podcasting class to fucking Palestinian
He's like, it's
kids.
set up, punch, tag.
There was a comedian in New York that tried to like get me to go.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, dude, he was nuts. There was this guy Ari that like he would do comedy, but he was a guy that was like always trying to do a million things.
He hated Nick.
Yeah, well, no, he was very nice to me initially. Because he was like, he was always he was in like Kurt's circle, kind of. And Kurt was like in my corner. So he would like, he put me on some shitty bar show one time. I met the guy one time, but he would like share articles that I had written. And then one time I wrote one article making fun of, I guess, some settlers murdered a 14-year-old American boy. They like,
and you teased them.
And I made an article making fun of like how the State Department would be like, not really, there's no accountability for that. It's like, and he's like immediately sharing. He's like, this guy's an anti-Semite. He's tagging the Comedy Cellar. He's like, where's your article about how bad the Palestinians are? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I wasn't even like engaging in an argument with him. But,
right.
This guy's like, tagging all this stuff. And I was like, bro, just chill out. And eventually he calmed down.
But he wanted you to go to Israel with him?
After that, he was like, I'm putting on, he's like, I think, he's like, I'm bringing comics out there. And he got a couple of them to go with. But I was like, I don't know, my schedule's pretty
Ian
tight.
Lara went on one of those trips.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Wait, so
man?
what happened when you were there?
So, when you fly El Al, like, you don't just get to, like, check in, like, through the kiosk. You have to, like, go
You
up.
get questions.
You have to, yes, you get questions.
Mine's
dead.
Fuck. Oh, thank you.
Did you gangster
No, I'm not
that?
going to get prison HIV.
No, I'm good. I'm clean,
Did you
brother.
gangster that?
That'd be funny. You got Riker's herpes.
Yeah, if you
Wait.
snuck this in your ass, it's a talk show. What are
Can
you
I
doing?
get some of that?
Yeah, you guys can share.
Did you make that in the toilet?
Yeah.
Toilet
That's
vapes.
toilet vape
You
water.
got this
yeah.
at the commissary?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make toilet GameCube when I get you.
So you go up and talk to the agent, right? And then
I've gotten questioned before.
She goes, first time going to Israel. I'm like, yeah. She's like, why are you going? I'm like, I'm gonna go. I had a cousin who was living.
I want to blow up a
kibbutz.
bus stop.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm going there for prostitutes.
She goes, you speak Hebrew, right? I go, no. And she goes, but you could read it, right? And I go, no. And she goes, but you understand it. And I'm like, if I can't speak it and I can't read it, what the fuck do you think? And
You said that to the
I didn't say what
agent?
the fuck, but I was like, if I can't speak it and I can't read it, you think I understand?
Oh, then you went real Boriqua
yeah.
on
I go, I speak more Yiddish than Hebrew.
Yeah.
And she goes, all right, talk to me in Yiddish. I go, like, you want me to tell you to like kiss my ass in Yiddish? I was like, that's. And then she's like, what's your favorite prayer? And what was my? I did have a favorite prayer, the Shema, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she goes, say it right now. I'm like, there's like 200 people behind me. I'm not gonna say the Shema right now.
I fuck with Shema heavy.
And I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
whenever I'm in trouble, I still.
And then she goes, do you know anybody else in the Middle East?
So you were just going by yourself?
Just going by myself.
Oh, okay.
She goes, do you know anybody else in the Middle East?
And you were like, look, I don't know
Muhammad
who Barack Obama is.
And I go, my buddy, he's Palestinian. He has family over there.
Well, the worst answer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I might go see
Yasser Arafat.
Yeah.
And she goes, she like completely, she's like, where do they live in Palestine? And you know, I was like, I think Area B. Like that's right. So she's like, okay, stay here. And then she goes and gets, I guess, her supervisor. And
who's one of the Harry Potter characters.
And he's like, what's your friend's
From
name?
Bring God's
And so he flies in and he goes, bring the chance cube. And we will see if they can.
The boy is the best diver I've ever
Like,
seen.
I thought we were done. The blue guy said I could go. The blue elephant guy said I was good. So I
was good to go.
Yeah.
He comes over and he's like, what synagogue do you go to? And the synagogue I went to was a Reform synagogue. And our rabbi, she's like, people call her a self-hating Jew. they don't like her.
You went to a girl rabbi?
I had a girl rabbi, 2 girl rabbis. And so he doesn't like that.
Of course not.
And then he goes, what's your friend's name? I tell him my friend's name. He goes, when's the last time you saw your friend? And it just so happened that we had just ran an ultra marathon together.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we were celebrating on 9/11 on the rooftops.
So he's like...
and they're like, oh, you are Israel.
Yeah. Of course, welcome.
So everything I'm saying is this: he's like ultra marathon. How long was the marathon? And I was like 37 miles. He's like, so you ran 37 miles with a Palestinian right next to you? I was like, yeah. And he's like, can I see the last Can I see your text messages with him? And I opened it up and I totally forgot this, but the last thing he sent me was like a political propaganda joke about Netanyahu.
Oh God.
So they're like, leave your bag, give us your bags, and give us your phone. And they're like, we're gonna walk you to the gate. And so I walked.
And you were already in the country at this point, or
I'm still in New York,
okay.
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, can I have my phone? I gotta call my mom. And they're like, all right, here, we'll give you your phone. They're like, do not move from here. We will come get you. So I call my mom. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And she's
Let me talk to them.
She's like, no, this is good. It's safe.
Put me on the phone.
So she's like, you should feel safe. I'm like, no, Ma, I don't want to go. I don't want to go now. I want to leave. So, dude, the plane starts to board. And nobody is coming up to me. And I see the lady. And I'm like, yo, you guys said you were going to come talk to me. And she's like, just wait. And I just go, listen, I don't really want to go. Do you think I could get my money back? And then she was like, no, absolutely
No
not.
refund. No refund.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the worst form of terrorism.
You asked for a refund? You idiot.
And then they come get me, and they bring me into this little room, and I had to get down to my underwear.
Dude, I have a story after this.
Yeah, and I had 2 phones on me. I forgot one was a work phone. So they were like, we're giving you 1 phone. You could have 1 phone, but we're taking everything else. Your luggage, all that, and you'll get it when you get to Tel Aviv. So they walk me to my seat on the plane. Like, this just doesn't look good.
Can I hit that again?
This doesn't look good at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, can I have a phone charger? At least I'm like, this is a 12-hour flight. And he goes, the stewardess will give you one. And then I asked the stewardess for a charger, and she literally just laughed in my face. So then,
And you're sitting next to the smelliest Orthodox guy in the world.
yeah, first, so his wife was here
I
first, and then she
hate
had
that.
to move because she can't sit next to another man. Well, by the time I landed, I was like, Jesus Christ, these fucking Jews. You know what I mean?
They're so rude.
Bro, my computer didn't work right for
Orthodox
weeks.
are so rude.
For weeks. It was.
Oh, you have malware on your computer right now.
It is cool.
They're
that
listening
those guys
through that
in
phone.
Israel, they're like they're trying to change the law so that they can be drafted.
Yeah.
And they can't really do it, and they won't get those guys to sign up, so they're just blocking traffic and stuff. And it's like, these guys fucking rock.
Oh, they're the guys who don't want to be in, right?
You know what they do in Williamsburg? They're doing that in Israel to stifle the war effort, basically. Only because they like traffic.
It's over-reported. Those guys are not. They're not freedom fighting. Those guys.
I know they're not freedom fighting, but
Yeah.
they're protesting because they just don't want to do anything.
No, because they get paid by the government to be Orthodox.
Okay, but they also don't want to do anything.
They don't want to do anything.
They don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not like,
They don't
oh,
wanna
this
do
is a
anything.
genocide. It's like, what do you mean I have to go to work?
No.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
Which
so
is
I
the
used
funniest, which is the best way to protest.
I was when I was 18, I went to Eilat, which is the southernmost city in Israel.
Right.
And it's right next to the
Sort of the tombstone of
right next to the Egypt border and
a lot of
the,
Wyatt Earp types. And
It's
you get a
it's right on the
sarsaparilla
Red
and-
Sea, and it's right next to Egypt, and it's right next to Jordan, right? And on the Egyptian side, there's a casino, and so I got tanked with my friends. We were like wasted, and I had my passport with me, and they were like, "Let's go over the border. Let's go to the casino. Let's go gamble." Right? So I'm like, "That sounds fucking sick." So I go. I'm like a fucking 18-year-old. And I don't have that much money.
Right.
So I lose my $40 immediately, and I'm like, "Casinos suck, man."
Yeah.
And it hurts my feelings that I used to have $40. So they're like, "Whatever. Let's go back over the border. Like we suck at gambling." And at the border my passport was from when I was 15, and I had like long hair. I looked like a teenage lesbian, and I had like shorter hair. I was 18 at that point, and they were like, "This is you in picture? This is you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me. I know I got a haircut, but I swear it's me. This is me." And they were like, "Okay, come into room," and they thought I gangstered something.
Oh, they went in your booty hole?
They went
the
booty
cough?
hole cough.
Oh.
They inspected butthole.
God damn.
Great guys. I met a lot of good guys. All right, I think this has been a great episode.
Oh, we're done?
Are we done?
Thanks for having me, boys.
I got to go.
Yeah, thanks. And again, folks, if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the North Carolina Community Fund, whatever. I've said it 3 times. Come out, please. Thanks.
Syracuse, November.